Why is it that the front benchers, the first in class, are not the ones who are doing the best?
First up, I want to thank each one of you for taking time out to be here with us, and very, very excited because it's a round table on play. And Bhavana, thank you for this. Thank you to the LEGO group for powering the first ever roundtable on play and bringing play to the forefront for our children. Education does not give importance to play, and especially as Asian parents, we are so focused on, like I said, result kya hai.
And I've noticed schools, when we talk to schools, okay, why don't you have a play-based curriculum? They say parents nahi aayenge. So I said to bow down to parents, you are taking out the play element, you are the expert, you should be able to convince the parent.
Right.
So I think somewhere schools also need to realize that you don't only have to be in that financial rat race, you also need to be in the cognitive rat race to help parents, convince parents what you're doing is right for their child and why.
Right.
That is very important.
Right, Bhavana, you want to add to that?
No, I was just saying that I think Swati summed it up very beautifully. So, when I look at parents, and I am one, and when I go to schools, the perspective is completely changing. We've grown up in a world which was very competitive, right? And I think we are, as parents, to be blamed for being very, very ROI oriented.
Yes.
Very greedy to say that if he spent 1 hour, what did we get out of that 1 hour? And typically what happens is we look at life in subjects, how good is he at math and how good is he at English. But unfortunately, life doesn't test us subject-wise, right? So what typically happens is when you're thrown into the world of work, is when you realize that life is not competitive, it has to be collaborative. And that is where I think we struggled. And that's where the people who emerge the best, why is it that the front benchers, the first in class, are not the ones who are doing the best, And nothing against them, but I would say that, the world is changing.
I was a backbencher, so I'm very much in favor.
So I think we turned out all right.
Yeah,
and I just feel that that's the world that we need to give our children. But we are scared, as parents, and we want to make out every minute of that time that the child is spending with books or toys or whatever.
I just want to add one thing. I feel for our parents, and my parents are slightly more evolved, thankfully for me, but the requirement was put every kid in a box. It's like I come from my standard joke is I'm a typical Telugu boy because half my family are doctors, half of them are engineers. The doctors stayed in India and engineers went to America. Literally, that's the template of a large part of my family. My parents told me, do what you want to do, become what you want to become, as long as you find some stability with it. It shouldn't be like random where there's no this thing to it. I still went engineering because I just went, but I realized that people around them kept asking, is he going to be this or that? It's not what is he interested in, what does he want to do. So also, are you in this box or in that other box? Which takes away from play.
Absolutely.
Because play is independent, right? You're not looking at something, this is the plan I'm following. Look at this, what can I make out of this? And if you look at kids and you give them stuff, they don't know the rules. They'll do whatever they want with it. And that also opens up the mind in terms of what you can do with it.
Also, Mansi, I don't think parents have that literature which teachers have. Okay, parents have heard about Montessori. But all these people, whether it's Froebel, Montessori, in India, Gijubai Badeka, parents don't know about him. Did you know that he set up the first Balwadi in 1920, before independence? And he believed in play. So it's not that it wasn't in our country. It's that parents are not educated about it. I always feel that don't ever make me the Prime Minister because I will make parenting a course and only if you pass the course can you become a parent.
But it's a valid point. It's the only job you don't require qualification for. And something which
No, but that's when you were actually talking about doctor, engineer and whatever, either it's family, either it's teachers who condition. So, I feel also plays come out of so much of conditioning, or career choices that come out of so much of conditioning, right? Because you're told as a child, nahi, ye to isse khel raha hai, ye to yahi banega. Ye to yahi banega. And therefore, your choices kind of are consciously coming in.
Yeah.
So I used to play teacher.
You know, I play teacher.
And I became a teacher.
And she was saying that parents are like every time in class, and I didn't stay in class because I was part of all societies like drama, elocution. I was like, okay, I don't need to be in class to
Yeah, that was so much fun, no?
yeah, to be
True.
doing whatever I'm doing. Shwetambara, let me ask you, parents aren't able to decipher the meaning of skills, you know, which are like, say, imaginative or creative or cognitive. And these skills are obviously, you know, they're very non-tangible, like I keep saying, they're not quantifiable. How would you explain the importance of these skills to parents? Like if you were to just dumb it down for them.
I love that question. I wouldn't want to dumb it down for them at all. I do feel that parents have really risen up to this job. In fact, just drifting back into the previous conversation, I actually want to ease the pressure out on parents a little bit, because that pressure is making them push so hard, and the receiving end are little children. I do feel that parents are trying to understand, get a better grasp on these things, right from building self-confidence into learning how to collaborate at work, in a big business meeting. I think every single skill can be built the play way. Not only introduced, created, but grown, proliferated, sustained, maintained, and it can be done through the play way. Now, our focus becomes skills like physical ability, cognitive ability, IQ, even EQ to a certain extent. I think one of the most important things that needs to be taught, encouraged in a child, is a healthy sense of self, valuing themselves. And it's amazing how play can help that.
Absolutely.
Other than these essential skills that I feel that we're talking about, autonomy, problem solving,
impulse control,
collaboration, do you know how significant play is in recovery? I think all of us need to understand, recognize that play can help us restore ourselves.
Play therapy.
It can help recovering. One of you mentioned that when you're playing, in one of your quotes, when a child is playing, you know what they're thinking. We use it for projective techniques. Sometimes children are not able to articulate what they're feeling or what they're going through, and we use these techniques and we let them play and we let them draw. We let them just pick something, and that tells us so much about children. And I think that that's true even for adults. And so the significance of play, it's irreplaceable. Every single thing that we achieve, if it is done, in the play way, I think it just eases out a lot of the achievement, takes away from the pressure of, having the result-oriented attitude. So in terms of parents, I think hats off to them. I think parents are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Maybe I'm a little at the other end of the spectrum here. So I really want to ease that out. Even if you're just having a conversation. See, play has a lot to do about perception. This conversation can be play, right?
Yeah.
Correcting a child, encouraging a child, motivating a child can be done in the play way. So yes, toys and tools are important. But even in the small interactions that we're having with children, if we just introduce that play, we allow for that perception there, I think it can make a big difference.